Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Planet Estefania. It's great to have you here. Welcome back. In this video we're gonna have a deep dive into the new Planet Zoo 2 feature focus, which is focused on zoo creativity and the tools that we're gonna have. Please note that you may hear some bird noises in the background. I live very close to a mountain and the birds have been particularly active this morning. So let's dive in. First, we start with the beautiful Western lowland gorilla. I mean, look at this model. Look at the face. Yeah, I mean, look at this. As always, I'm going to mention the eyes. I think they did a great job with the eyes and also the fur texture. I think that is a very nice upgrade from the fur texture that we had in Planet Zoo 1. Overall, all the animals have the fur looks so much better. And I'm so happy to see that. In this scene, we also get to see these rocks, which I absolutely love. Like, the rock options that we're gonna have in the game are amazing. Like, look at the texture, look at the moss, and the moss is actually at the top. Like, I think it looks so natural. Also the foliage. I'm going to be mentioning the foliage quite a lot in this video because it looks amazing. Like, look at this banana tree, I think this is called. Like, you can even see the bananas over here, and maybe the gorillas will be able to eat those bananas. Who knows? Because they already confirmed, the team confirmed that animals are gonna be able to, they're gonna be able to eat from the foliage. So, who knows? I can't wait to see if this one is also a reality. Like, I would love to see the animation of them grabbing the bananas over here. Also, take a look at the foliage here on the floor, like over here. How beautiful. Beautiful. I think they've really done an awesome job. I'm going to play back this at, let's say, 0.5 in slow motion so we can see this in slow motion. I love this animation of the gorilla showing off his strength with this movement. Look at this as well. Like, the back also looks amazing. Here we can see, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this would be, I'm not sure if this is a female or another male. Maybe this is a female, but from the distance, I'm not sure about the proportions, but yeah. So let's see what we can find in this scene that we can see over here. I think, again, the foliage looks amazing. Let's see in the background what we can find over here. Let's start over here. Well, first of all, I think these pieces look amazing. I love these doors. I think these are doors over here. We can see people walking out from the doors. Here we can see some staircases, but we can't really tell many details over here. I think the decoration that they've done with the tree branches. I love that we have these natural looking tree branches. It's not like perfect polished wood. And I think that looks awesome if you want to go for the rough style. And this seems to be a viewing gallery. So yeah, looks amazing. Love the pillars over here, like they're made of wood. We also see this, which looks sort of like it's full of glass. So again, we're gonna have the glass pieces, which I'm always happy about. Let's continue. Also, before we move on, I want to say and highlight how good the terrain textures are looking over here. Like, here we have different textures, but they blend so nicely and they have texture. Like, it's not just full color. It's like you can actually feel that there is something like dirt and steps and foliage over there in the terrain. So kudos again to the team on the textures. If we move up, we can see a bit more detail over here. We see the flowers. I think we already saw these ones, and they are, if I remember correctly, these are or look like very similar to the ones that we have in Planet Coaster 2. And we see the viewing gallery where guests can see the gorillas. The foliage over here turning orange is already giving you a hint on what is coming. And if you watch the video in the official channel, you're gonna see that seasons are coming, and I'm so excited about that. We're gonna check them out in just a moment. Okay, in this scene, let's see what we can find. I think we saw this scene previously. If not, well, it looks a lot very familiar to me. So I think we've seen that before, but let's see what we can find. I love these sort of stickers or something that we can put on the wall. I think I'm gonna be using those a lot, especially for the African theme. This is the statue, the sculpture that we had before. We saw a little bit of the pieces of the African theme in the previous feature focus. So we can continue, I think. Okay, let's continue. Before we continue, I just noticed this over here. I love this like sort of like rug or fabric decoration over here on the fencing. I think it looks really nice. And we also get to see keepers or zookeepers with the food bucket for the animals. Okay, so let's continue. And we see for the first time in-game the beautiful meerkats. Yes, I know you're all thinking about Timon. And yes, we have Timon. And we have Dory. What more can we ask? I'm a huge Disney fan. And The Lion King is primarily one of the reasons why I loved animals from a very young age. So yeah, just know that I'm very, very excited about having the meerkat in the game, in the base game. So yeah, I think they look wonderful. I saw meerkats in real life once, and yeah, I think the model looks very accurate. And I love the animations, like they're watching and protecting their families. This is like how they watch for predators and let the group know if any predators are close by so they can hide. And here we can see our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Galapagos giant tortoise. I'm a huge fan of tortoises, so like tortoises and turtles as well. So for me, any tortoises or turtles that we have in the game are more than welcome, and I absolutely love the Galapagos giant tortoise. I absolutely love it. So let's zoom in. We can see, like, notice how we can actually tell the relief, like the 3 dimensions, like we can see the scales over here in 3D. It's not like just a texture or something that they put into the model. It's actually sort of like sculpted there, and I love it. I love when the light is reflecting over here on the scales. We can also see like the movement. We can see the tongue. You can even feel like the tongue is a little bit wet over here. Also the discoloration close to the nose. And you can even see, like, notice this, like the pattern of the different layers of the shell. I think this is the word that we use, the shell, for the tortoises. Like, it's beautiful. What more can I say? Just one word, beautiful. Also the movement. You're gonna see the movement in just a moment. Look at this over here. And then we go to this scene that looks like so nice. This is our air view of the Galapagos giant tortoise in its enclosure. And we can see on the back, we can see a waterfall. I'm not sure, even with all the feature focuses that we've had so far, I'm not really sure about the new waterfall mechanics. Like, will it be like Jurassic World Evolution 3, something similar, or will it be some sort of middle ground between the VFX and the Jurassic World Evolution 3 system? I'm not sure, but whatever it is looking amazing, and I'm very happy to have it in the game. Just looking forward to knowing more about it in the future feature focuses or the future news that the team is going to share. I mean, I would love to see actually how we can build the waterfalls in the game. But so far, they look amazing. I think they're gonna go from, personally, this is pure speculation of course, but I personally think they're gonna go for a middle ground between Jurassic World Evolution 3 and BFX. Why? Because in Jurassic World Evolution 3 I noticed that when the game launched there were some kind of small issues with people not being able to actually create the waterfalls exactly the way they wanted to, because the system was a little bit finicky. Sometimes it didn't adjust exactly to what people were wanting to do with the waterfall. So maybe they're going to tweak it a little bit and make it a little bit more approachable. That's my personal opinion on this. So let's move forward and we can see the rocks. I love how the rocks are actually looking wet when it's raining, and I think this is something that they're going to incorporate, because here we can see that all of them look really wet, and I love that change. Then we can see, of course, the terrain textures. Love how they're blending. Also, look at the line between the water and the actual sandy or dirt part of the terrain. It looks really nice, really natural transition. I love seeing also all the guests with their little umbrellas when it's raining. I always love that kind of realism within the planet style of the guests. I love that they have umbrellas. I love that they actually carry what they buy. I love seeing them sitting on the benches and the chairs. I love how the park feels alive. And I think that is a huge part because of the Planet Guest style. I mean, I love it. I love the animations. So I will always be an advocate for this guest style because I absolutely find it really charming and cute. What more can we find in this scene? Well, we see these plants over here. We see these flowers, the foliage. Let's take a look at this built-in fence. I think this must be a built-in fence because it looks so smooth. I mean, I think this must have been done with a built-in tool, but I'm very happy to see a mesh built-in fence because I do think that built-in fences have a lot of opportunity in the game. I mean, they save a lot of time and they also add the management layer of having to do maintenance to the actual fencing with the mechanics. So I would love to see more options for the built-in fences and that look more like realistic, like this mesh fence, so we can actually use those built-in fences instead of creating custom ones. Like, I love them. Really. If they are built in, I'm so happy. Then let's see what we can find. Well, we have the staircases, we have some decorations. Let's see over here, we have this plant. We have this area over here, but it is like a very small observation area. But this is like I think this is a demonstration of how narrow we can go with the pathing because we can see some sort of connection with the path over here. And let's see what else. This is the first time that I'm taking a look at this in detail with you all because I want you all to get my reaction as well. Just know that I'm also like trying to find the details here in real time. Here, let's see, we have the staff facilities. And I love that we're gonna get modular staff facilities. We're gonna see a few of them like on the inside in just a moment. We also see this pot. And I love checking out the new pieces, like the Asia set is looking awesome. I love the lanterns. And well, I think that's all we can like squeeze from this image. So let's continue. The rain looks nice as well. And here, let's see what we can find. We go to an underwater view. We can see, I think this is the first time we can see the actual like multi-level underwater tunnels, right? Please let me know in the comments down below if this is the first time. I can't really remember, but I don't think we've actually seen them like this up front. Like people are actually walking down the stairs and we can have multi-level underwater tunnels like this. They come in from this side and they come out from this side or vice versa. Then let's see. I don't think we have anything new over here underwater. I love I don't know if you saw this, but there is a moment. Let's see. Where the camera like this. The camera will fill with little water drops when you go underwater and then you go out of the water. The camera will fill for a few seconds of these little water droplets, and I think that is a very nice touch. It's in Planet Coaster 2. As well, and I loved it when I saw it. When you sink into the pools and then you come out, you get these little water droplets. Okay, here we do have a lot to unpack. Let's just move forward for a few seconds until we get this air view as high as possible. Yeah, I think this is okay. Okay, so here we can find most of the details of this scene. Let's focus on the center first and then let's go to the sides. Here we can see a beautiful decoration, I think this is a statue of the fish. I think this is looking awesome. I love the colors on the sculpture and I love how they've decorated like this central piece in the plaza. And we can see the planters over here. And they've also added, I think, some benches. These look like benches, but I'm not sure if this is the edge of the planter, but it looks really nice. We also get the education boards back. I think this is the education boards. We also see this one over here with a little fish. And if we assume that this education board is actually describing the animal in this habitat, I think this could be a confirmation that we can get mixed habitats. But this is, of course, just speculation. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have any internal information on this. But if this is the education board and it's showing a fish, and it's right next to this habitat, look at this habitat. It has some terrain over here, but then it also transitions to a water area. So inside that water, apparently there are some fish swimming around. So maybe this could be a confirmation that we can have aquarium animals in the water together with the terrestrial animals, because we can see the burrow over here. So there is a terrestrial animal in this habitat, apparently. So let's see in the future if we get this confirmation, but this is looking very, very promising. Then let's go here to the right. Okay, we see Viva. Okay, apparently we're gonna have Viva, so this could be Viva la Vegan. I think this could be Viva la Vegan. This is a new brand that I think they introduced for Planet Coaster 2. I loved that they're also adding vegan alternatives. And here we can see another underwater tunnel. We can see the staff member swimming above the water tunnel, which is great. And we can see this viewing gallery for people to see the aquariums from an air view. We can also see here, this is also interesting, that the underwater tunnels apparently can also go over the water. This is something that I just noticed. Look at this. It starts underwater, and then we have the staircases, and then they go up into the air, and they apparently finish above the water level. So this is also nice. It's not just restricted to being underwater. So this also opens up a lot of possibilities, like, could this be used inside the aviaries? Or could this be used inside the normal terrestrial habitats? I have many questions, and I think I'll be sharing some of them in the channel very soon. So yeah, many questions. But I'm so looking forward to having the answers in the coming weeks. I mean, we're so close to launch. It's so exciting to be so close to the launch of my dream game. Like, please share in the comments, is Planet Zoo 2 looking like your dream game so far? Because for me, it is looking like my dream game. I mean, they've incorporated so far most of what I wanted in the game, so I'm so happy. Great, so let's continue. I love these lampposts. I think they look very modern and general. They fit with most themes. And let's see what else we can find. Let's see if we can find something over here. I don't think so, but the water here looks a lot more opaque. So this is also like showcasing how we can change the opacity or the color of the water, how far we can see inside the water. I love like these seaweeds for decorations that we can add. I mean, there's so much room to expand on this game. They have the perfect foundation, and I think Planet Zoo 2 will definitely be alive for many years to come. And I can't wait to be part of that journey as well. So here we see feature focus, zoo creativity, and we've talked quite a lot, and we've only moved forward 20 seconds into the video because there is a lot to see. So I think this video is going to end up being quite a long video, but I think it is worth it because there's a lot to unpack. So here we see a eagle sculpture, and I saw a lot of people speculating that we have many different instances here of apparently teasing the bald eagle. So I'm very excited and looking forward to it. Now, let's start with the details because in this area we have a lot to see. First, we see these plants. I love this planter, and I love that we have this trunk, cut tree trunk over here. It looks so natural and perfect for rustic builds. We also get this fencing. I think it looks so clean, so nice, and the fence seems to be the fence built in for the actual pathing over here, because look at how it transitions here with the little blocks on the pathing. I think this is a built-in fence, and it looks so nice. But a fence for the path, not for the habitats. But I think it looks so nice. We also see Trunk of Trinkets, the gift shop that we saw previously in other trailers. And let's see here, the foliage again looks amazing. We have so much variety that I'm always amazed at how many flowers and plants and different plants that we can see in the trailers. I mean, I love this one. I think I've seen this one in real life, and it looks so nice. Great, so let's move down, and here we can find some of the facilities for the guests. We see the vending machines, we see the trash bin. I love the trash bin. It looks so simple and clean, and I mean, I like it. I really like it. I love that we have themed trash bins, and I love that we have those generic trash bins as well. The variety is super great. Then here we can see the mixed habitat, the mixed species habitat. I think this is the one that we saw in the birds feature focus, where we had the Malayan tapir and the hornbill. Here we can see the Galapagos giant tortoise, I think, walking. So we can have multiple mixed species. And here we have a demonstration of the different types of roofs that we can have. because this one is like a bit pointy and this one is more curved. So maybe I do think that since the style is so similar, this could be an automatically generated roof. Let's see, we don't have any confirmation on that, but they do look very similar and perfect. I mean, if this was done manually, congratulations to the person who built it. But if this was also done automatically, congratulations to the person who programmed it, because it looks really nice. Then let's see. Oops. Okay. Here we have this lamp. It looks really nice. Then we see also some mesh fence. This is, or looks like, a built-in fence as well. I'm hoping that these will be also built-in fences because they will make building so much easier. I love building custom fences, as I said before, but I think built-in fences can have a lot of potential as well. And let's continue. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, we see some of the facilities there. Okay, I don't think we can see any specific details. Everything is like super, super small. So let's continue and let's continue. Okay, first of all, then I have to say this. I love these tables. I think they look nice. The canopy as well. We see the trash bin and we also see the bin and we also see the bench and we see the staff resting on the bench. Awesome. Okay, here we can see the pathing tool. I'm gonna tell you something. The pathing tool is amazing. Like, I've used it in Planet Coaster 2. And if you haven't checked it out, please let me know in the comments if you'd like me to record a video showing the pathing tool from Planet Coaster 2 so you can have an idea of how this works. But it is amazing. It's gonna make building your zoos a lot more like easy and fun and engaging. Like, it is really, really nice. I promise. So here we see them building the path. It's basically like this. It works like this. You just build the path where you want it to be. You have something called a stamp tool with different shapes, and you just stamp the path where you want it to be, and the guests will be able to walk on it. They also have this tool, which is basically every corner of the path is going to have like a node, which is like a point that you can drag to adjust the path to fit your needs. You can also customize the texture of the path, the fencing, the curbs, and you can also customize how thick the platform is if the path is elevated. It's like really nice. I think it will fit the wish list of many of us in the Planet Zoo community. Please let me know if you'd like me to cover the pathing tool from Planet Coaster 2 to give you an idea. Have you tried the pathing tool before? If so, please share your thoughts in the comments as well. What do you like about this tool? What do you think could be improved? I mean, I personally love it, and I think it is a huge improvement from the Planet Zoo 1 pathing tool. Okay, and then we go to these like fun enrichment activities for the guests, and I have to say thank you so much to the team because I am looking forward to seeing lots more of this in the game. They bring life to the zoo. You can see people actually interacting with them. Like, you can see the little kid running around here like in a hamster wheel, and this makes the eagle like fly. And I think the concept overall is really like super nice. And we have the little fish here as if the eagle is like catching or stalking the poor fish. I mean, it is really nice. They bring so much life to the zoo. So please, Frontier, if you're listening to this, please add more of these like fun activities for the guests. And then we see one of my top favorite features for Planet Zoo 2. I was really crossing my fingers that this would be added from launch at the base game. Like, the restaurants. The restaurants are beautiful. Like, the restaurants are probably one of the most like game-changing features from the management perspective of the game. These are the restaurants that we have in Planet Coaster 2. And they basically work like you have a module for the restaurant, which is very small, where the staff prepares the meals, and then the guests walk up to that counter, they get their trays, and they walk up to their tables, like in real life. Super nice. But they actually eat in the tables. They have their trays. They have different food options that they can choose from, and you can actually see them like eating in the table. It's really nice. I'm sure that you're gonna love it, really. I can't wait to see what you guys think when you try this feature, because I personally love it and I'm so happy that we're gonna have it. I love the tables. If I remember correctly, I think these tables are a bit larger than the ones that we have in Planet Coaster 2 for larger groups. Maybe we're gonna have tables of different sizes, I'm not really sure, but it's really, really nice. Okay, so let's see what we have in this scene. We have the toilets. We have, again, the trash bin. We have the tables. You can see also that we have some staircases over here. And that's right, because you can place the tables anywhere you'd like as long as they are reachable by the guests. And you connect them to the restaurant module. Here we can see the table. You can see that we have different food options. Here we can see, I think this one is lasagna. We have a sandwich. We have fries with something. And this is already making me hungry. So let's move forward because I am hungry right now after seeing the lasagna. And here we can see the sculptures of, I think this is the owl that we already saw. And maybe this is a wolf, or I think it could also be a fox. I'm not sure if this is teasing a new animal, but it looks very promising. Great, so let's continue. And here we go to another theme. Well, we see the bear. I think this is a bear that we already saw in the Zoopedia. The sculpture looks amazing. I love how they are adding like also the flat like elements here on the sculpture. They actually look like a wood sculpture. I think it looks really nice, especially when the light reflects on these surfaces. You can actually see that it's a sculpture. Love how they position like the rock. We have the foliage over here. Again, new foliage. We can't stop seeing new foliage because there's so much. Here we can also see some sort of like billboard where this is clearly a custom image because we have the Zoopedia image for the owl and the hornbill. And then what do we have here? We have this lamp. Then let's see, I think this one looks great as well. I love how they're going also for pieces that can be used across themes because this is sort of like a generic lamp. I mean, I love it. And here we see the sculpture, which I love, of the mother and the baby owl. So let's continue. We see the keeper. And here we see another theme. I think this one is from Asia. In the Trunk of Trinkets store, we see a panda plushie. So again, we see another clue that the panda is coming to Planet Zoo 2. We haven't seen it, but I can't wait to see it. And especially, I can't wait to see the little baby. I mean, I'm gonna die, really. I'm gonna have an overload of cuteness when we get the reveal of the baby panda, really. They're so cute. Here we can see the facilities. This look like food shops. We see again more foliage. It looks so amazing. Yes, this is making me hungry, really. And before we move on, we can't not cover this tiger statue. I think it looks amazing. It's like made of metal. And the material itself is looking beautiful. The eyes are looking gorgeous. I mean, it's gonna be really nice to use these statues in the zoo. Then we see this one, which is I think the North American theme. Let's see what we can find. Well, here we see a brand, the Viva la Vegan. Yes, this is Viva la Vegan. We can see the sign here and there is a head blocking. Please, can you move? Thank you. Well, we can at least see Viva la Vegan. Viva la Gang. Okay, but we can complete that in our minds. So we have Viva la Vegan. I love this one. Actually, the lamp on my kitchen is super similar to this one, but it's green. So I love how they're also taking inspiration for the pieces from like real life things. Like they look so simple and yet so nice. Then we see these flower decorations. And over here, we see a sort of like fish sculpture. What do you think this sculpture is? Like, I don't think we have a fish that looks like this. Maybe I'm not really sure. I'll have to check, but please let me know in the comments down below what you think this fish is. Is it representing or teasing a new species, or is it something that we already have in the Zoopedia? Also, what is this over here? What do you think it is? I mean, it's over there, but it doesn't look like anything we've seen before. And I don't think it has a decorational purposes. Maybe it's a trash bin, but I think it's a little bit too narrow to be a trash bin. Not sure. But looking forward to reading your thoughts. And then we go to the Africa theme, which really, really reminds me of Northern Africa, like Morocco and like Egypt. I think this is like where they took inspiration from. First of all, I love the floor pattern, like the path pattern. And I think this one looks sort of like carved. It looks so nice. I love the wooden like pillars over here, which are asymmetric, sort of like creating a wave. And here we can see some water flowing from the fountain. I mean, the overall concept on the pieces is top notch. In Planet Zoo 1, I already loved the pieces, the themed pieces. So in Planet Zoo 2, I think the pieces are already like matching that quality. Here we can see the I think they call this stationary, like the stands. Instead of being like those boxes, they are individual stands. I think this is also very nice because it's recreating sort of like the markets that you would see in Northern Africa. And here we see Gelato Bros. I love some ice cream. And I'm not sure what this one can be. Personally, I do love these boxes that we get because I love the backgrounds that they have with the decorations, like with the food. You can see like the burgers on the back. You can see the everything on the back in the boxes. So I do like the boxes, but sometimes there is room for the stationery as well. We can see the African canopies as well. And let's see if I zoom in here, because now we can see this. We can see the bench and we see some pots. Okay, so now we go into the FlexiColor. We can see the color editor, where if we click on an item and the item can be recolored, you can use the color editor to choose the color of different channels, which will change the color of different things. For example, here we have orange, and if you change that orange, it will change everything that is originally orange in that piece. It's really, really powerful. Like here you have some predetermined colors, but you can also choose, like, I'm gonna show you here. You can write the hex code for the particular color, and you can copy the color. This apparently seems like resetting the color. So you can go back to the default color. This is very important. And you can also see the recent colors that you've used. And then you can confirm. Something that I'm loving about everything that we've seen so far is that the UI of Planet Zoo 2 looks really clean. It looks easy to use. It doesn't look cluttered. It looks like everything is very intuitive. And here, talking about the UI, we can see a lot of things here in the scenery tab. Here we can see sort of like a teaser for the Indian peafowl. I mean, I absolutely can't wait to see the Indian peafowl in Planet Zoo 2. I mean, it would be amazing. The peafowl was already one of my favorite animals in Planet Zoo 1, and now in Planet Zoo 2, I think we're gonna have a beautiful peafowl. I also hope they fly, so they can be in the aviaries. Then we also see the Indian elephant over here. So maybe this is teasing two animals that are coming in the game. To the game, maybe not at launch, maybe in the future, or maybe at launch. That would be even better. But at some point, I do think we're gonna have these. Then we see this lamppost, this classical lamppost. This can be recolored. We see this cartwheel ship. We see a ship. We see, let's see, the haystack. We see this canopy. We see sort of like this carving. I think this one could be an elk or a deer. Not really sure. And I think this one looks a lot like a cougar. So maybe the cougar is also coming. Then we see some carvings. This is a wolf, I think. And this is just the raw like a tree trunk that we saw previously that was being used sort of like a planter decoration. These pieces, I think we had these pieces or something similar in Planet Zoo 1. Please let me know if I remember correctly, but I think we had some of these and I absolutely loved them, so I'm happy to see them back. Then we can see another carving, but I'm not really sure what this could be. This looks sort of like a primate, I think. And this one I'm not sure. Really, I can't really tell the shape over here. Then we see some decorations. This is a deer, I think, the elephant, the giraffe, the gorilla, the hippo, and this seems or looks like the lion. And then we see some branding. Chief Leaf, we see Chief Beef, we also see, I'm not sure what this one could be. And here, if we zoom in, we also see another bin. I think we haven't seen this one before. It looks really nice. Okay, so let's continue. And here we can see the scaling, but we also have a lot more to see because we have the nature tab. First of all, let's focus on the scaling. You can see that this is scaling up to 1 and 1.17. So the original size is a lot smaller. This one was 0.75, so this was scaled down. And then we see it scaling up until it reaches 1.17, and we can still scale it up even further, so we can have a really huge plant over there. I love that they're adding like the scaling tool. This is going to be so powerful, but it's also going to be powerful at that they're adding like very generous limits on how much we can scale down or scale up. Okay, so then what else can we see? We can see this planter over here that looks amazing. I mean, the overall design of the pieces, I think, captures the theme very well. Then we can see this over here, the little natural wooden pieces. Over here, I love like these African patterns on the wood. And then what else can we see? Okay, we can see a sign that says this word, Faz la bulla. Please let me know what this means. I'm going to try to find it as well, but it should be, I think, in the Planco dictionary because they usually write things in Planco. So maybe this could be an animal teaser. I haven't actually searched for that yet, but please let me know in the comments if you find it before I do. Thank you. So then let's go to nature. Let's go to the nature tab. Yeah. What can we see? We see that we have more than 720 items in the nature tab just for the foliage over here, without including rocks, without including like, I think this should be like some sort of like small plants and branches. Just this one has 720 items. So that's why we always keep seeing new foliage. They've added a lot of new foliage, and that is super awesome. Like, we can see a lot of these options. Let me give you a zoom in tour of these plants. Like, you can see them over here. If you want to check them out, you can also pause the video if you want to focus on one of them at some point, if you want to check them out in more detail. And okay, there we go. They're looking amazing. Then in this scene, let's see what we can see. If there's something hiding here behind the building. Let's see. If we zoom in, we have I think this is the water filtration system. We have the built-in fence, or the fence that they're using for the habitat. We see the climbing frame and some signs. So I don't think we have anything new over here behind the building, but the building itself is something new. Why? Because it is a staff facility. Here we can see the catalog of staff facilities that we have with the blueprints. Over here we can see some different themes, and I think they're looking amazing. Like the blueprints, I also think they're looking more detailed than the blueprints in Planet Zoo 1. So kudos to the team working on the blueprints for Planet Zoo 2. I love it. And this option over here is interesting. We see essentials. I'm looking forward to seeing what this will filter. Like, will it just give us the basic raw buildings or the essentials for building this type of building, or will it filter something else? I mean, it looks interesting. I don't think we had this option in Planet Zoo 1. Great, then let's see. Okay, here we see something super interesting that I was so looking forward to seeing. We are getting the transport right back, because here we can see this category. So we are getting transport rights in Planet Zoo 2 from the base game. So because we have this category, we're also getting education, and we're getting, this is like the bins and benches and security. So we are getting transport rides back. I'm so looking forward to them, and I do hope that they're gonna be like in Planet Coaster 2, where you can customize them and add pieces that move with the ride. Okay, so now that we checked the tab, let's check what we have over here. This is sort of like, based on what we know so far, the staff facilities are also going to be modular. So you can add the facility and then decorate around it and even inside the facility, sort of like the gift shops. Something similar to that. Here we can see inside the staff facility, if we zoom in, and we see that they have like these desks, they like benches to sit. We have sort of like a kitchen. It looks like a kitchen or like a sink. Then we have some couches here and some like a shelf with the folder bins. I mean, it looks really nice. If we can customize this to the degree that we like also sharing the blueprints and just placing down the blueprints with one click, it will be amazing, because the creativity is truly endless if we can customize the interior as well. We can see the interior of this as well. We have different doors. We see that we have different doors for the different facilities. So yes, this is also showing that we can customize the doors of the staff facilities. That would be awesome. We also have this chimney over here. I mean, yep, looks really nice. And I also love that the door is opening over here. We have the door opening animation. Really nice. And before we move on, I'd like to highlight that I love how the staff has been I do think the staff has been reworked a little bit. I see more variety in the staff models. Like here we can see, this is a staff member, and we can see like the smile on his face. I love that they're working very happy. Like the uniform, the security boots, and the gloves. I mean, everything about the staff has also been improved, in my opinion, based on what I've seen compared to Planet Zoo 1. So yeah, looking forward to it. Here we can see how we are building something. I'm not sure if this is a staff facility, but it starts like this. Maybe this could be a decoration, I'm not really sure. But we can see how everything can be built piece by piece. Here we see a confirmation or a teaser. It's actually like a teaser of the... I see people speculating that this could be a salmon, so maybe we can have a salmon in the game. And we can see some of the pieces that we're gonna get. We have the bike, the axe, we have some logs for lighting up the chimney. We see towels, we see some chairs. These are probably since they are being added individually, they're gonna come as individual pieces. Then we go to the workshop. The workshop, the Planet Zoo 2 workshop, is going to be a game changer. Why? Because not everyone likes to build. Not everyone has hundreds of hours to build something, or some people don't like it. I personally like building, but there are days when I just want to play the game and I don't feel creative. So in those days, the blueprints can be a lifesaver when you just want to have fun. So for the blueprints, we see this. We're gonna have the name, the description, blueprint type, additional tags, and then we see the in-game cost. We can make the creation public or not, and then we can create the blueprint. This is for our personal use, and this is for uploading the blueprint to the Frontier Workshop. We see these categories for blueprints: habitats, aquariums, exhibits, nature, facilities, scenery, equipment, and there must be an additional one, I think, because there is some space for scrolling down over here. We see that we can take the picture here, we can fast forward time, we can play and pause, and we can switch between day and night for taking the image. And then inside the workshop, we can see that the user interface is very clean, and I think it looks very nice. The workshop, I personally think there could be some improvements to the workshop in Planet Coaster 2 and in Jurassic World Evolution 3, but this user interface for Planet Zoo 2 workshop is looking a lot nicer. It looks clean, it looks efficient, and I do think this looks like the best workshop that we've seen so far, in my opinion, of course. This is my personal opinion. We can see that we have the name, the user who created it. We can install the blueprint, view details. We see, oh, that's nice. We see the avatar of the person who created the blueprint. This is really nice. I love that they are incorporating the avatars a lot more because I think that had a lot of potential in Planet Zoo as well. We see the number of likes, downloads, how many times it has been used. I love that this is going to appear as well, like how many times it has been used, not just downloaded. That is a very nice encouragement for everyone who builds the blueprints, because we know how many times our creations have been actually used in the game. I'm planning to create some things for the workshop when Planet Zoo 2 launches, so I'm super excited to see this as well. It's very encouraging. Then we see installed, and then we can use it like this. Let's check out the blueprints that we can see over here, because maybe there's something leaking, some leaks or some teasers over here. We can see the mountain hare habitat. And something that I noticed here is that the blueprints, apparently for the habitats, are also going to have the terrain height, because when they place the blueprint, they also have the mountain included. So that is super nice. Let's see the description, the user item options installed. Okay. Then let's check out this that we have over here. We see an elephant statue, which looks really nice. We see a facility, we see an aquarium. So an entire aquarium can be placed down as a blueprint with the pathing and the tunnel. Really nice. The tree decoration, we have a bridge. We have some like scenery. Decoration, we have apparently the entire habitat here for the mixed habitat. We see some decorations here. I also love the small blueprints, things that we can actually like place in the zoo without being something huge. Like I love also creating something with a bin, a bench, a decoration, something for the restaurant. That is the type of blueprint that I like to create, something small that adds to the zoo. And then we see this ship over here. We see this facility. Let's see. We also see something similar to like a parking lot, because we have these buses over here. Then we see the planters. It looks really nice. Here they are placing the blueprint, and you can see that when they place the blueprint, the mountain is already there. The terrain elevation is already there, which is super, super helpful. Let me see if we can find something over here. I don't think so. I don't think there's something new to see over here. So let's move forward. And here we see the mountain hares. I mean, look at them. They're so cute, so fluffy. I mean, I'm very excited about the mountain hares. In this Supedia reveal, my personal favorite was the Galapagos giant tortoise, but I understand why everyone is so excited about the mountain hare, and I share that excitement as well. Here we can see more foliage. We see these beautiful flowers. We see the these fungi. I mean, they're looking super nice. I love that we have them in the trees as well. And I also love the walkthrough exhibits, like seeing the guests inside the habitats. Of course, as long as the animals are not stressed. And then this looks so amazing. I was so happy when I saw this one the first time in the video. Like, it is a new water, trout and water source for the animals. And you can actually see the water flowing over here, and they can drink from it. It looks really, really nice. And people who like to make these natural, they can just cover it up with rocks, and it will look like the animals are actually like just drinking from the dirt. I mean, from the floor. It looks so nice. The enrichment item with the carrot is super nice as well. I mean, overall, what can I say? Everything is looking amazing. And we can really see that the Planet Zoo team really, I think, went extra mile with everything in the details. So that's why I personally think that we are going to get new exhibits. Like, I don't think there is a chance that the team didn't actually like upgrade the exhibit system. They've done everything they can for most of the features, for all the features that we've seen so far. So why not the exhibits, which are a core aspect of the game? So yeah, I do have faith that in the coming months, we are going to see some announcements related to the exhibits. I don't have any information on this, just speculating, but based on this, I do think it's going to be true. And then here we see water. Why is water so important? Well, because it brings life to the zoo. It brings everything that the animals need. It makes the landscapes look natural. And I'm just so happy that we're going to have water in the game. Let me show you something that I think is confirming that we are going to be able to have like fish in these natural pools of water. Why? Because here we can see a characteristic of the water called salinity. So far we had only seen salinity in aquariums, right? But here we're seeing it in natural water, like in a pond, and it says fresh water. So if this is here, then there has to be a way to customize it, right? And why would we want to have salt water in a lake or in a natural pond if we're not going to keep saltwater fish over there? So I think this salinity aspect is actually telling us that we are going to be able to keep fish in these natural water ponds. Let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, I'm just speculating, but I already mentioned that in a previous video where we covered the Supiria, because for the toucan, it also said that it needed fresh water in terms of the salinity. So if this is an option, there has to be an option for salt water. And why would we have salt water in this type of water? Well, just to keep saltwater fish, I think. So yeah, this is pure speculation, but it looks very promising. Let's continue, and here we can see everything that we can customize about the water. Like here, we can see the surface, the presets. So basically we're gonna have some presets. We can change the color of the water in 3 different channels, the tint, so basically like how strong the color will be, the fog, dust modes. I'm not sure what this could be, but I'm looking forward to seeing that one, the bubbles, and the mist. So we are going to customize everything here. Like in the surface, we see different options when they select this. We see placid, calm, rippling, flowing, and choppy. They show us the calm water and choppy. And I can't wait to see flowing water because that would be awesome for creating rivers. So that is just amazing that they've also added different types of water, like different looks to the water. Choppy, look how the choppy water is looking. Like in slow motion, you can even like tell the choppiness. Like here you can see it. I'm gonna play it one more time so you can see it. How it changes, like it is looking so nice. And then we go to the terrain tools. Like this. In the terrain tools, we see different shapes, like primitive shape stamps. And then we see something called landscape stamps. I'm very excited to see how this one works because apparently this is sort of like looking like a desert. This is looking like, it's sort of like roughening the terrain, but in a specific way. And here we can see some sort of mountain or hill. So that will be amazing, just clicking and just placing a mountain without actually sculpting it, which is kind of hard when you're trying to sculpt a natural looking mountain, right? Here they just use the stamp and then they raise the terrain so the hares can access it, and then they cover it with rocks. Beautiful. All the foliage is looking amazing. And then here we go to the rocks. Now, just in the base game, we're going to have more than 190 items that are labeled as a rock. Here they are filtering by the name rock. So we're going to have more than 190 options of rocks to choose from. And the great thing is that they are, most of them, at least the ones that we can see here, recolorable. So no more like choosing a specific rock for a specific biome. You can like recolor it and make it look natural and fitting with the water that you are using at the moment. Like I also love that we're getting like all these little like boulders over here as one piece because I think that will improve the performance tremendously. We don't no longer have to like use hundreds of little rocks to create this natural looking pond. We can just scale this one. And then we place this grass and we can see a little hare moving over here. I mean, I think this is also a preview of how flowing water looks. Like you can see it over here. Beautiful. And then we see the brush. The brush is looking beautiful. We have the custom brush editor. This brush specifically is called Woodland. Brush objects, we have up to 20. So you can select up to 20 trees or rocks or elements that you want to place with the brush. And then you choose it over here. You can select the brush objects and then update the brush. Here they've chosen 5 out of the 20 that they can choose. Then they update the brush like this. Apparently they're using this brush, and here we can add more custom brushes in the UI. I think the UI is being very intuitive. I mean, it's easy to read and understand. And here we see other brushes. In the settings for that brush that we can find over here, we can set the size of the brush. Like this would be the radius of this area, the circle of influence of the brush. Then we see the intensity. The intensity is basically how the effect of placing down the items is going to be distributed radial as you move further out into the circle where the effect is taking place. Like how many items are you going to have in the center of the circle versus closer to the edge. You can also turn on if you want to avoid paths or also place the items on the paths. If you want to avoid scenery, and we have other settings because we can scroll down here, but I can't see them and I really want to see them, please team. But it's looking so nice. I mean, the brush is something that was definitely needed in Planet Zoo 1, especially for creating the natural looking habitats more quickly, not placing down every individual tree. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one in action. I also want to highlight that I love this little bridge that they have over here with a little waterfall in the scene. I'm checking out the scene as well to see if we can find something new, but I think this one here is just focusing on the brush. And something here on the back. This is, please let me know if you think this is the track for a transport ride. So maybe in a feature focus, we're going to have something related to the transport rides. Please let me know because the pillars look like they're the same, so they must be auto-generated. And this must be, I think this has to be a transport ride. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So here we can see the brush in action, and then we go to the star of this feature focus, which is like the seasons. The seasons, what can I say about the seasons? I mean, they look amazing. They look so amazing. Like you can see here, the flowers just growing in the spring. Beautiful. Let's go back so you can see this from the start in slow motion. Enjoy this place. Like the foliage will be adjusted according to the seasons, which is beautiful. Let's see this transition in slow motion. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's go back and see. We start here. We go to spring. Then here we can see autumn. We can see how the trees are all like losing their leaves and everything is turning like orange. And you can see the trees actually like losing their leaves and dying. And then we have the dead trees in the winter, almost in the winter, and then it starts to snow. And wow, it's just an amazing effect. And then we can see another interactive like item for the kids. I love the animation comparing to how far they can jump compared to the hair. I love the animation and like the guests actually like feel alive. That's something that I love. We also see Chief Leaf over here with our staff. Very nice staff. And then we see our animals, and we see in the winter where we have the bear over here. Really nice. I love the little cutie. This is the first time we've seen the baby, and it looks so nice. The model looks really nice. It captures like that the bears are usually like thinner than the mother, and it looks so nice. And then we go to one of the features that I'm most excited about. If I had to say, like, this is the #1 feature that I'm most excited about in Planet Zoo 2. Really, 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 really. The wildlife reserves. This is the topic of the next feature focus, and I'm like, I can't wait for 2 weeks. Frontier, please, I need it. I need to know. So yes, we need to know, but before we move forward, I want to highlight something that I'm seeing here. Like the level of detail that they've reached is amazing, because even in the leaves, you can see the light being reflected on the leaves, And you can see the relief, like you can see the texture over here of the actual, like the little like relief on the leaves. I mean, it's amazing, really, the level of detail. And here, if I'm not mistaken, please let me know if you agree with me. This is speculation, but if I'm not mistaken, we can see the ranger. I think this would be a ranger because it's in the wildlife reserves. The ranger has something here that looks very, very similar to a camera. I think this one looks very similar to a sports camera. So that makes me think that a photography mode is coming for the wildlife reserves. I mean, that would be so awesome. I'm dying to have a photography mode in this game because everything looks so amazing. So the photographs are gonna be amazing. So please let me know what you think about this little device in the comments down below. Then we see the researching the animals, because here we can see in the backpack a little logo of the research that we have in the zoo. So this is researching the animals. So we're going to have some sort of staff management in the wildlife reserves, and everything in the wildlife reserves are looking like so amazing. I'm not sure why we see this statue over here. I'm very looking forward to seeing the story behind this, because the wildlife reserve is so natural, and this is the only man-made object in that scene. So why is it there? I can't wait to learn more about this. And then we can see the little babies just playing around with the mother. It's beautiful. And another thing that we need to talk about is this over here. In the horizon, we can see this, which looks like a sort of like a hub or like a central place where the staff is going to be resting or living in. And yeah, I don't know, but if we can build these, if we can customize these, or if we can just play around with these, I mean, that would be awesome. And here we can see sort of ranger towers where they are watching over here, and they have these staircases. I can't wait to see those staircases. And now that I think about it, this is actually looking a lot like the platforms that we have in Planet Coaster 2, with the staircases. I think they will have the same mechanic from Planet Coaster 2, where we place the flumes. And then we see the little babies, the mother, and everything here is just looking amazing, really. So, and then again, we can also see something interesting. We have this natural area, but here we have area that has not been customized. We don't see any trees, we don't see any foliage. And I think that is an invitation or a way of them for storytelling us that we are going to be in charge of expanding the wildlife reserve to this area over here. When they give us that air view to this area, we'll have to see in 2 weeks. That is my analysis, my deep dive of the latest feature focus for Planet Zoo 2. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and please let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I love to read your comments. I usually try to reply to as many as possible because I really love your engagement and just reading what you think about Planet Zoo 2 and how it's looking so far. So thank you so much. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video.